What should you do if you're falsely accused of domestic violence? Well, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public. So please subscribe to our channel. Well, what you should do about if you're falsely accused of domestic violence, and by the way, as a side note, let me say that this happens a lot. It happens a lot because people, in jockeying for position in a custody case and knowing that one of the factors is the presence of domestic violence in the household, might set you up for a domestic violence case because you could get into an argument. They could say, well, I'm calling the police. And if they say they feel threatened or or you pushed them or something, and or there was tussling going on or whatever, the police may very well take somebody out of that situation, and all of a sudden there's a domestic violence case. And then you'll be able to argue, well, there's presence of domestic violence in the household. It's a situation that is very easily manipulated. And a lot of times people are falsely accused of domestic violence. That statute was originally set up to, avoid a situation of a battered spouse. It was not set up so somebody can manipulate it and use it to jockey for better position in a subsequent custody case. And yet, that's what it's used for in a lot of situations. If you are falsely accused of domestic violence, the easy thing to do is, if you have no record, is to tender some kind of plea and finish the case fast. It'll be cheaper, it'll be easier, but you know what? Such plea may very well hurt you in a subsequent custody case. And if the judge says to you, well, I have to find that there's domestic violence in your household because you pleaded guilty, your excuse, well, I only did that to save money on attorney fees and avoid a trial, is not going to be adequate response. It's going to be held against you. There's no question about it. So if this situation comes up, you've got to regard it as a very serious affront to your effort to get custody. You've got to take it seriously. You've got to fight that case. You've got to make that person come in and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you were guilty of domestic violence. And it's hard enough to prove something happened when it did. It's really hard to prove that it happened when it didn't. So you're going to have to call them to task. You're going to have to hotly dispute that case. You're going to have to fight it. And you're right. It may cost you money to get a criminal defense lawyer, or even a family lawyer who works with domestic violence to go and represent you in that case. But really, you've got to do it, because if you don't, if you go the easy road, well, then it's going to show the court something. It's going to show the court that maybe you were guilty of domestic violence, which was why you admitted to it, and maybe you shouldn't get the custody. At the very least, it's going to show the court that you are taking the easy way out of things, and maybe that poor judgment is also sufficient reason for the court to give the other side custody. So there's no real way to win that except to attack it head on. You will find that most things in life, they don't get better just by neglecting them and taking the easy way out. You've got to, if you're accused of a crime, just like if you're accused of stealing something that you didn't steal, if you're accused of domestic violence, you got to fight that case. You've got to make it so that the other side has to come to trial and prove it. And you know what happens in a lot of these cases? We've defended so many of these people accused of domestic violence. Come time for trial, the accuser doesn't show up. How about that? They make this whole thing and they don't show up. And you know why they don't show up? Because they're not really interested in the conviction. They just want to be able to say that there's a domestic violence case out there. Why? Because they want to gain position in the custody case. So they end up not showing up and the case gets dismissed. And then you're where you were before, on an even playing field. So in these situations, if somebody falsely accuses you of domestic violence, your response got to be, yeah, bring it on. Bring on your proofs. Call your first witness. Prove that I did this, because they're not going to be able to prove that you did something when you didn't do it. And therefore, that case is going to unravel, and the court is going to see the lengths to which they would go to make up something false about you just to gain custody. And the court's not going to like that either. If you have any questions about your case, of course, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.